Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. I'm Melanie from Streamlined Legal, and we help law firms streamline their processes so that they can deliver superior customer service and get more referrals. And today I'm talking about Clio and Calendly. Um, Basically, I'm talking about practice management systems and scheduling systems. Now, it doesn't have to be Clio and Calendly. It could be Practice Panther and Acuity. Pick your favorite one. There's a lot to choose from. The reality is that there's Clio, Practice Panther, Rocket Matter, name 100 others. There's Calendly, Acuity, Square Appointments. By the way, I don't always talk about practice management this late on a Friday night, but when I do, it's good. So stay tuned. I wanted to make sure, I've had a lot of people ask me about, is it really hard to do as far as syncing my practice management system to my scheduling program? And it's not. It's very easy. And so what I wanted to do was just give you a little overview of what it would look like, how it would work, and so that you're not quite so that you have a good example of what it could look like. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my screen over here. And there's me in the background. We're going to start here with Clio. So as an example, I have here 2 appointments that I've put on my calendar for Clio. And one of them is a court hearing, one of them is an interview with a witness. And the first thing I need to do is that most practice management software does not sync directly with Calendly or Acuity or any scheduling program, but they pretty much all sync with Google. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and sync our Clio calendar with a Google Calendar, and then we're going to sync that Google Calendar with a Calendly calendar. And I know it sounds like a pretty long process or a long chain. It's not too bad. So watch what we've done here. We have our 2 appointments for next week, and I've gone ahead and synced Clio with a Google Calendar. And I've done that by going over to settings here, and we've got contact and calendar sync. And it's going to ask you if you want to sync with a Google account. We're going to go ahead and tell them that we do. And then we're going to pick which Google or Clio calendar we're going to sync with. Now this one, I want to just focus on my firm calendar right here. We can sync multiple calendars, but for now we're going to focus on the firm calendar. So once that's been synced with Google, we'll flip on over here to the Google Calendar, and we'll see that those 2 hearings are showing up on my Google Calendar because I now have a calendar here called Firm Calendar, and that's the one that's synced with Google. Now, we can sync our Clio calendar, with Clio. We can sync our Clio calendar with one of our existing calendars. I don't necessarily recommend that because once you sync them, it is difficult to separate them again in the future. So I'd recommend doing a separate Google Calendar for your practice management sync. So we've got the appointments here showing up on our Google Calendar. And then we're going to go set up our Calendly settings or Acuity or whatever you're working with. Today we're going to take a look at Calendly and see, once we sync our account here, our Google account, it's going to ask us which calendars we want to check for conflicts. So we can check more than one Google Calendar when we're looking for conflicts, which is nice because let's say you have a personal calendar where you put your doctor's appointments or trips to the gym or something like that. It can check that calendar as well for conflicts. And let's say you've got a kid that you're in charge of taking them to soccer games. Obviously, we're going to want to mark that time off as well. So that's where the Calendly is going to check for conflicts when someone tries to schedule something with you. Then over here, it tells us where do we want to put our events that Calendly schedules for us. And here we would probably pick that firm calendar that we had in the other screen, so that it knows to put the events on the firm calendar because that's the one that's syncing to Clio. Now, The nice part about all of this is once you've got it all set up, then you'll be provided with a scheduling page similar to this that allows your clients to be able to pick what type of event they want to schedule. Or if you'd rather not let them choose, if you already know what event they need, what kind of appointment they need, you can send them a link directly to that. And so what they'll see when they use that link is they'll see a calendar here. They can pick whatever day is convenient for them. They can pick whatever time is convenient for them. But you'll see that our calendar here has blocked off the time where I had that court appointment. So it's going to not let them schedule an appointment during that time, of course. So now we've got our, let me show you this. We've got our Clio calendar here that's now synced with our Google Calendar. So the appointments are showing that there as well. And then it's also synced with our Calendly appointments so that appointments are not set for times when we're already busy. Now, I have to tell you a couple of tips that I would recommend if you're considering going this route. And number one is that it saves a ton of time and back and forth emails to be able to set up a system like this. And so it really is worth the time and energy that it takes you to set this up. Or of course you can hire someone else to do it for you. It also, I have a lot of people that say, well, my clients will never go for that. I mean, they're not going to schedule through a link. I disagree respectfully with that argument. I really believe that people want that instant gratification. They want to be able to schedule at their convenience. And so giving them that ability to schedule 24/7 without your having to be involved is fantastic because it helps both them have the instant gratification that they want and know that their issue is going to be addressed at some certain point in the future. And it gives us the ability to be able to not have to have all that back and forth email and phone calls. I approach it this way with my clients. I tell them, let me send you a link that you can click on and find a time that works best for you. So it really sets it up as you're helping to make it more convenient for your clients or the people that you're wanting to schedule an appointment. And of course, the only options are options that are convenient for you. So that works out well. But then the other few things I wanted to mention to make this kind of a system work as flawlessly as possible is you really have to be religious about your calendar. I mean, if you, for some reason, forget to put something on the calendar, then Calendly or Acuity will very well schedule an appointment during that time, and then you're going to have a conflict that you're going to have to discuss with your client to reschedule one way or the other. So to the point where when I'm blocking out time on my calendar, whenever I have an appointment that I have to drive to, if I don't want to take a call during that time or I don't want to do an appointment during that time, I'll put drive time on the calendar. I'll block out 15 minutes, 30 minutes, however long it takes me to get there, so that I'm not having to take a call in the car if that's not something that I'm prepared to do. So it really can be very helpful, but you have to be very diligent about it. And same thing with days off. If you're taking some days off or some time off in the afternoon, make sure to put that on the calendar so that no one can book an appointment during that time, because they won't be calling, they won't be asking, they'll just be doing it straight through the program. So I think that's about all I wanted to share with you tonight, but it really is a fantastic system and it really does save a ton of time and energy. So if you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. The number here is 630-590-9505, or of course we're on Facebook and LinkedIn as well. Thanks so much for your time. Have a great evening.